I'm a big fan of comics, therefore comic book movies, so I will watch any comic book film and give it a chance. I define the modern age of comic book movies as 2008. This is the year that the MCU started, with Iron Man and Robert Downey Jr. doing awesome stuff like this, where he takes out the terrorist. I wish we had tech like this in the real world so we could take out terrorists trying to use people as human shields. And here's my favorite part of this movie, uninterrupted. Totally awesome. Still has me geeking out. And in that same year, we got The Dark Knight, which I think is the best comic book movie of all time. And the late great Heath Ledger giving a performance of the ages as the Joker, in which he won an Oscar. You want to know how I got these scars? Why so serious? I think I'm going to go watch this again after I'm done editing this video. It's just a terrific movie, with Batman representing order and a Joker representing chaos. This is the era where movie studios start taking comic book movies more seriously, giving them the budget and the marketing and making them summer blockbuster events. So to me, the two best of this era are The Dark Knight, which I just mentioned, and Avengers Infinity War. So what are the two worst dumpster fires of this era? I would give that to Thor, Love and Thunder, and Wonder Woman 1984. And in this quick clip, we're going to analyze why they're bad, why they should have not been bad, and then we're also going to vote on which one is worse. Here we go. Just how bad is Wonder Woman 1984? Well, it does have some good things about it, such as the scene where she beats up the criminals in the mall very easily. It's a very well done, fun action scene that I enjoy. And also bringing back Chris Pine and Steve Trevor in this 1980s montage of different clothes is pretty funny. And let's face it, the chemistry between Gal Gadot and Chris Pine is electric. They feel like they would be a couple in real life, but Gal is married to a man that is not Chris Pine, and Chris Pine was dating someone else at the time as well. But just look at her bite her lip when she looks at him like she wants to eat it. But then she catches herself at the last minute. Seriously, look at this one more time. She's looking at him like, yeah, I'll have some of that. Body language don't lie. But moving on for that, this movie is straight dumpster fire. The Wishing Stone plot that this movie is based on is one of the weakest, dumbest things I ever seen in my life. Pedro Pascal is a terrific actor, but his talent is completely wasted in this movie. The golden armor scene was supposed to be a wow type moment, but it didn't quite work. And the design and the CGI using Cheetah was pretty terrible. Kristen Wiig's talent was also completely wasted in this movie. This movie came out during the pandemic, so they put it on HBO Max, thinking it would help them get subscribers and compete against Disney Plus and Netflix. But those plans failed. But that's not the worst thing. The worst thing of this movie is this actor involving this gentleman, where Wonder Woman, against this guy's will, uses his body as a vessel to bring back Steve Trevor. I get it. Steve died 70 years ago prior to the events of this movie, and she unwisely uses the Wishing Stone to bring him back. But she brings him back in the body of this man. This man did not ask for this. This man did not give permission for this. She just did it on her own. And this man's body was used against his will for intimate affairs. So that makes Wonder Woman the R word. Yes, the hard R word. Warner Brothers allowed Wonder Woman to be in the same class as this guy, or this guy. Princess Diana's reputation has been ruined forever. She's now forever guilty of SA. Take her away, boys. She deserves to be in prison. And how did Warner Brothers allow this to happen? It's easy. They're a toxic company. We witnessed them sticking by Ezra Miller despite the fact that he's a weirdo, who appeared to be assaulting women and running a cult. They stuck by Josh Whedon despite credible accusations of racism from Ray Fisher. And not your normal casual racism, but like really abusive racism. Its former CEO, Ken Sujihara, was forced out once it came out that he was pressuring a woman to have sex with him in exchange for movie roles. That's who Warner Brothers is. So the fact that one of their movies has their lead star become a R word probably didn't faze them, because it's probably something that's already normal to them already. Allow me to illustrate who Warner Brothers is. This is Warner Brothers. It had to be studio interference for Wonder Woman 1984 to turn out this bad, because Wonder Woman Part 2, also known as 1984, and Wonder Woman Part 1 had the same director in Patty Jenkins. Part 1 isn't just good, it's great. So how can one director go from Golden Goose to stepping in dog shit in just 3 years? Well, there you have it. There's my evidence of why Wonder Woman 1984 is completely horrible. Now let's move on to Thor, Love and Thunder. Not only is it one of the worst comic book movies of all time, it's one of the most disappointing, because this concept had so much potential. From storylines created by Jason Aaron in the comic book format that they were adapting into live action, which had me excited. The Jane Foster as Lady Thor, Goddess of Thunder, who is a mortal woman, was cancer stricken, but when she picked up the hammer, she became a goddess. This storyline, running through 2014 to 2015, is one of the most acclaimed acclaim and best-selling Thor storylines of all time. Natalie Portman is a terrific actress. This was supposed to be perfect for her. They were also adapting the Gore the God Butcher storyline, which came out in 2013, also from Jason Aaron. And you cast Christian Bale to play one of the best method actors in the business. This is supposed to be a home run. And Hemsworth, the lead as Thor, is so jacked up, it looks like he's taking steroids. Look at his physique from Thor 1 to Thor 4. He looks like a professional bodybuilder who's lifting tanks. You had the same director returning with Taika Waititi. I always butcher his name. And he just came off of Thor Ragnarok, which was a huge hit in terms of critical and box office. You had trailers for this movie running in theaters for at least a year hyping it up. So it's not supposed to fail. But fail it did. So disappointing. And the biggest issue of why it failed is because they took Thor and turned him into a goofball. This isn't really a Thor movie, which is a sci-fi action film that has some elements of comedy in it. It feels like National Lampoon or Saturday Night Live decided to do a parody of Thor, and it looked like this. And seriously, did we really need to see an aging, overweight Russell Crowe in a tutu? Thor's story arc was all about maturity in the first place. In Thor 1, he is banished to Earth by his father Odin to teach him a lesson because he's too reckless and immature to inherit the crown that's supposed to be his as crown prince. He winds up overcoming his adopted brother's tricks, his older sister's terrorism, slavery on a foreign planet, a purple alien's genocide, his own self-loathing, the refugee status of his people where they settle on Earth, just to become a goofball. That doesn't make any sense. I mean, seriously, he runs into Lady Sif, who just lost in battle, and the first thing he does is start telling jokes about her arm missing. And Valkyrie, who is an awesome addition to Ragnarok, was completely wasted in this film. They cheapened the character by having her do a product placement for Old Spice. Such lack of dignity, it made me want to vomit. And then we have nepotism in the fact that Chris Hemsworth's own daughter, India, was cast to play the role of Love. I got nothing against the kid, but this type of nepotism is pretty sickening. So there you have it. Those are the facts on why Thor, Love and Thunder and Wonder Woman 1984 are horrifically bad movies. But the question is today, which one is worse? It should take the title of the worst comic book movie of the modern era, which I believe starts in 2008. You can vote on this in my community tab. Just go here and scroll down a little bit and you'll see it. While you hear it, be sure to see one of my previous videos about how Thor Odinson and Wanda Maximoff have similar story arcs, and that they both experience a lot of loss and grief and have to rebound. I think I make a very compelling argument in this video. Until next time, this is Comic Killer 72 for Comic Power saying, don't forget to subscribe and bye-bye.